What's up, guys? Pop Up 101 here again, and we are going to be working on Detailed Beast Temple, among other things, because I'm not necessarily sure if I want to branch out in this video, but I figure let's get to it. Now, I remember last time I was working on it, I was looking at the map, and it still kind of sucks. So if we go into it more, what I want to show you guys is that I think the Waterfall of Truth is on the wrong side. Because if you notice these guys right here, they're all facing this way and they enter the temple going this, like that. So, since everything is selected, since it's a separate part, I put it like that. Literally all I need to do is set it back to 0, change the orientation, and there we go. I need to make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, so as long as... So you can walk through the waterfall, right? As long as you're able to walk through the waterfall, there we go. Now how about we just add a little path right here? Because there's a tunnel. Okay, actually. The fact that there's a tunnel makes this perfect. So what we're going to want to do, raise this up a little bit. Perfect. So when you walk through the waterfall, it'll bring you right into this part of the map right here. And then you can fight, you can do whatever you like. I'm just wondering whether I should make a separate wave spawner in here or not. But how about we actually work on the waterfall? We have all these trees right here. Now, how about we actually open it up? Take a look at it. See this. So, to me, it looks kind of like this. Probably this one right there. Let's create a new material for it. I'm guessing this might be the ground. We have two different colors. Looks a bit lighter, so let's go with this one to start. Notice that there's some other trees and stuff. Well, that's all going to look bad in game, so what we're going to do is go through and delete them all. So let's delete that. Delete these trees that are just hanging out there, because these are pretty much 2D. I really do like these trees. There's just no top to them, so that kind of stinks. These we can remove. this, I figure why don't we just get rid of that. And we can keep all of this right here. And just so it's a little bit less boring, what we can easily do is just duplicate it. At least what we should be able to do is just duplicate it. So let's try. So this moves everything. I'm not sure who did this, but they didn't do it properly because it doesn't really work very well. I don't even know how I can type this character in. I'm just gonna copy it. Looks like it's material 32, 30, that kind of stuff right there. So if we create an empty, we can manually add them in with the mesh filter and our mesh renderer. So if we do material 32, we got something nice looking right there. Notice where it is, because it's lined up with these right there. If we pull it out, you can see it. But let's say we add this, and now we have tree-like looking things, which is exactly what we want. But I gotta be honest with you, I don't really like the look of those. So what we're going to do is change this, and we can add it to our new material. Now those trees are looking a heck of a lot better. We set it to both. Those trees aren't really looking the best either, but let's play around with these a little bit. Drag them about. Just for fun, maybe we can make a little pit or something. Let's duplicate these. 31. Alright, and we have our new material right here. Some more. Duplicate that. Add some variation. Alright. So we have some trees that are actually scattered around pretty decently. So for all the big ones over here, let's use this one material. And for the little ones, we can add in the lighter one. So let's do this. So all of these guys right here, take the light one, drag it on. Just so there's a little bit of color variation in the trees. Doesn't necessarily look the greatest, but... And then for this guy right here, why not just make it wood? Not really sure what this is. Maybe leaves? Vines, okay. So if we look for some vines in here, not really seeing anything that looks too good with that. But it is a light green color, so I guess why don't we just take this right here. Nope, that looks absolutely horrible. So let's delete those. Now these thin ones right here, those I'll keep. Those we can make green. Because they do add a little bit of flair, which is what we want to happen. Now this right here is all the water. So what we're going to do is copy and paste the waterfall shader that we have. So if we go to the final valley, our textures, let's pack this up real quick. Now, since I don't actually remember the shader that was used, what we can do is go to our meshes, ground water, click on it, M Lux LWRP Water River. So how about if we do it like this? Okay. So we don't really need it moving too fast. There is a pit in the middle. And because we have this little waterfall right here, it's looking better already. And for our ground texture, we just have some grass. So for this guy right here, now that we have our waterfall, I don't think there's any water in that part of the map. So we can easily do. What's up, Nightclaw? Just trying to get this map done. This is going to be the big release for the first of this upcoming month. And I'd like for it to be done and perfect. Pop S. What's up? Okay, we have our tailed beast temple. If we go back into the waterfall, what we can do is create a new material. Guessing it's this one. And if you ever can't tell, a great way to do it is if you click on the emission, set it to be a bright color. You'll be able to tell which it is and which it is not. In our case, it is not 3, because if we do this, those all change color. So it is not. It is not 3 that we're changing. So a texture for the ground that we can do is, I think let's go with this one, because I think that's pretty perfect. And I don't like that it repeats at all. So I think this is more what we're looking for. It's not going to be perfect, but it does look slightly better. Okay, so we've got the ground. Maybe add in the water shader again right here. Add in some more grass areas. Let's keep this part. It's right on the end. Let's see how the water looks. I'd say we go with water right there. Then with grass. Maybe if we add in a little bit of variation of this. See how this looks. It's still the same, so let's just do it like this. Alright guys, making a bit of decent headway on this so far. Now it's not perfect, but I'm liking it. guessing it's lighter on the other side of the wood, just based on where the light is shining in this. So that should be fine. Now I can't remember. Is this... Let's see. Those look like... It looks like it should be stone, right? Let's take a look at the picture, shall we? Alright, so it is stone. I was right about that. So why don't we add it in? Now, if I had to choose some stone, I'd probably pick maybe this one right here. So, as always, let's create a new material. And I'm feeling in a good mood. Let's drag it on ahead of time, because I'm hoping it'll be the one. And it does look very good. Now for all these little vines right here, let's take this, which one was it? I think it was this one. Take that material, let's make it nice and green. Not a perfect map, but gotta say I kinda like it. Cool. And the water is moving down. Just not moving very fast, which I do not like at all. So, let's select the bottom part and the top part. There we go. We use our fast water. Perfect, perfect. I love it. I think it's great. Alrighty, let's get to work on some of these rocks. Now, rocks are always fun. So, let's see if there's any assets in here already. Maybe this guy right here. Let's create another material for all those guys. And I don't know if it's it, but it's worth a shot. And I can tell you it is certainly not. Unless it doesn't want us to do something with our tiling and offset. They're all different sizes, so I'm just going to guess no. But for this one, I'm still going to say no. Okay, let's try that. Now those rocks are looking pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to stick with that one. So we use the same texture right there. These random things just standing out there, do not need. Okay. Now for this guy, let's... The color doesn't necessarily match, so I don't really like the look at that. Let's try the dark one. It does match the other trees, so I'm going to keep that. Alright, it's looking better already. All all these little things of grass, I'm guessing. Yeah, I'm just going to delete those. There's certainly a lot of them, and it would add some variation, but it's not exactly what I'm looking for. And we do have some leaves, so of course, let's color them in. We have our tree roots. Now, maybe just make them brown, because that color looks like it does match. But actually, so we do have this texture right here, so I don't forget about it. Let's pop this in. Let's add in some stone right here. Just to block that off a little bit. Now, I do like this wood, but if we did something like this, I gotta say I do like it a little bit better because it's not all just one kind of brown. Alright. Now let's look for some stragglers. Anything we did not already get. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting very happy with this map. This part over here looks fantastic. And river. You know, for this, why don't we... I like that better with grass. Ah, glad thing we're checking it. These guys right here. Now that is looking pretty good. All these little pebbles, let's delete. And you know what? Let's keep this tree in here. Let's use the lighter color. So, to me, this looks pretty done. So what I'm going to do for a bit of a size comparison, something we all know and love. Let's just plop in the Darksaber so we can get somewhat of an idea of the size of this map. Okay. So, judging by the size of the Darksaber, I'd say we have a pretty large map, guys. So all of these trees are going to be enormous around you. And that, I'm pretty okay with. Because we're going to be... So if we take a look at it like this, probably be something like this. I'm okay with that. I think that looks great. Ooh, let's not miss that. Sweet. Okay. Now we have this part of the map done. least I think. Now, this is starting to bother me quite a bit. What texture should it be? Or should it even be there? Well, maybe it should. Because it would look kind of bad if it wasn't. We do need a material for the steps. I believe it's this one, if I remember correctly. Yes, it is. Well, at least we know the steps are done properly. There's indents in these. You know what? This transition is going to be pretty important. So why don't I do something about that? If we delete that wall that separates it, you know what? Can we extend this a bit? Of course not. Because whoever made